We are in Flin Flon City Hall right now, but actually this was the command center during the fire. And one of the people that was here all the time, while the rest of the people in the city were not, a lot of them were in Winnipeg, was this man. This is Flin Flon's fire chief, Jason Kuras. Thanks for having us in your city.
Not a problem at all. I'm glad you guys came.
I can't even imagine the kind of wildfire you guys faced, and you're the fire chief. Had you ever been through anything like that before in your time?
Not on this scale. This was something I had never anticipated ever being part of or needing to be part of, and to be right there in the middle of it, it's definitely something I hope I never have to deal with again, but it was a good experience. It was a good outcome.
This room, the command center, Jason was explaining to me, the chief was explaining, back on that wall would have been the big map behind us that they had sort of outlining everything, and then they would have gathered around the table. How many people were left in town? You know, because you were one of only a handful, right?
Yeah, I mean, at any given time, we probably had around 100 firefighters. We had probably at least a dozen staff in here for logistics and making sure everything kept running. So in total, just in Flin Flon, be lucky if we had more than 150 people in total.
When you started setting up in here, I understand there was a point where the city didn't even had power, like there was nothing. So did you run a generator from across the street at the fire hall?
We actually ended up having to procure 2 generators during that time to make sure we had power here and at the fire hall so that we can continue our normal operations. So it lasted for 48 hours with no power before we finally started getting power back, but some areas of the city remained without power for a full 5 days.
Do you have everything that you need in Flin Flon to keep Manitoba's north safe now? Because you must have learned some lessons. You started by saying you learned all kinds of lessons about how wildfires, how they move. And do you have everything you need now? Or what's your hope moving forward to keep your city and this part of our province safe?
I'm hoping that we can start to work a lot more closely. Like the OFC has done a very good job of trying to help out with each municipality with different programs and things like that.
Office Fire Commissioner, Office
of the Fire Commissioner. So they're really working hard to try to get some of these programs like the WUI, the Wildland Urban Interface program going, and we need to start working more closely together. Even though we have large distances between us up here in the north, we need to start working more closely with joint training efforts and just equipment purchases. We need support from the government there to get some more equipment up here too.
You probably know that at the federal level, there's a lot of chiefs now that are saying we need coordinated emergency response across this whole country. And we need to not have sort of the deployment coming from, emergency specific, event to event. How do you feel about that? Would a coordinated effort and maybe one main office help in Manitoba when you think about deployment and such?
I think because everything each incident is so varied and so different, by centralizing it to such a individual area, it's not going to be effective. I know that when you'll see some of the pictures from this, our terrain is completely different than down south. You drive up here and you will see nothing but gorgeous, beautiful lakes, rocks everywhere.
I feel like I'm in Newfoundland, by the way, or Kenora. That's what it looks like.
Kenora, yeah. So, I mean, it's not easy for somebody in, say, farm country to really grasp what, like a grass fire there is different than a bushfire here.
So regional coordination might be valued over federal.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. Regional coordination where we can look at different areas, different sectors, and really lock down what we can do and what we can bring to each other will be more effective than centralizing everything.
What was your scariest day?
Every day. Every day, pretty much. The early days there when the wind just kept switching on us and moving around were definitely challenging and definitely some of the more tense moments of the whole thing. So,
well, I'm sure you got more than one thank you for keeping the city safe. Thanks for your time today.
Not a problem. Thanks for coming.
Well, James Dauk also spent his summer here in Flin Flon, like Fire Chief Jason Kuras. He spent 2 weeks in the command center. He spent, though, the other 2 in the bush fighting back the flames. He's been a firefighter here 9 years, father of 2 teens. He's lived outside the city, just outside, for 21 years. I asked him to take me to a spot of significance regarding the fire, and he took me to his house. A 1-story home across from the water with a badminton net in the yard, and I was curious why he didn't take me into the trees. He told me he has survivor's guilt. The fire came within 4 kilometers of his property. Here's what he shared.
I guess the worst days were when I had to watch my kids leave one day and my girlfriend leave a different day after she had evacuated the hospital. So those were tough days for sure. And but there was one night in particular I was out fighting the fires, and the chief came up to me about 8 o'clock at night, and he said to me, he's like, "I don't think your house is going to be there in the morning, James. You might want to get your belongings out of there." So we came back to the hall. He gave me a ride, and I was just going to sneak away and start hauling my items to a safe location. And Chief, being the good guy he is, we had a few members, about 7 members there, who were just dog tired, dirty, been fighting all day for days. And Chief walked up to them, "Who's going to help Dauk move his things?" And they all stood up, and they just came and did it. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah. Where did all your stuff go, and what was it like waiting it out until you heard, the outcome?
The decision I made was to bring it to the airport. It's a big open area. Brought some items from close friends of mine too out there. We did the best we could, and I guess you saw the area, or might have saw the area yesterday, but Sally's Beach Road, the fire is extremely close to there, and even hopped into the airport location. So I was wondering if my decision was great at that time, but it all worked out in the end.
You spent some time, you spent weeks and weeks, as you've outlined. Your girlfriend was evacuated, your 2 teen kids were evacuated. You spent some time in the command center, but you also spent some time right in there in the thick of the fire.
Yes.
Can you still smell it? Like, what was it like?
At the start, it was just so overwhelmingly busy that you were just doing it, and ash, smoke, everything, heat, intense heat. It was plus 30 days out there too, so it was pretty intense. And when I finally did get pulled off the truck to go into the command center, it definitely came with a heavy heart as well. For feels like you're leaving the guys, but every role is important, and I was just here to help with whatever I could. And as proven by the chief's decisions at the start to make the line between Cliff Lake and Trout Lake, was monumental for protecting the north side of Flin Flon and east side of Flin Flon, as well as my place here. Yeah.
Save the city.
We all
Most
saved
of the
city.
city.
We all saved the city. With the generosity, I might add, of 55 departments from across Manitoba and 194 firefighters that helped us. God bless them. Thank you so much.
Anything to add? I wonder how this stays with you as a person. It's not all that long ago that you're back here, your family's back. How are you changed by it?
Well, I think an event like this definitely changes you. It makes you appreciate what you have a little bit more, even though it's just stuff. The building of relationships, whether it's interdepartmental or with the people that came to help us. That's very positive. And yeah, it's something that weighs heavy on me yet, but will never be forgotten. But I'm glad I was part of. Very fortunate.
What weighs heavy? What do you mean by that?
Just the way I look at life in general. It's a massive event, and it could have changed at any moment, where we lost everything, as a town, as a city, and to be part of something where it didn't happen, and to be part of the group that was able to fight this off, I feel very fortunate.
Thanks for your time.
No, thank you.
Thanks for having us in Flin Flon. That was firefighter James Dauk.